Hey, so this is a video log for Adairsville. I know it's in the morning, it's because I was doing it last night and I had it all cut off. It was coming up to right here because I was tired, exhausted, went to bed around 2:30 working on flyers and banners. So here's the AM version the next morning. We're actually in Adairsville right now. We spent the night in a motel. The host from the other evening actually had a friend out in Adairsville who wanted to help us out, but due to certain circumstances he couldn't actually house us inside his house. So he gave us a $100 donation, and then our host gave us an additional $20 on top of that to get a motel room. So we found a motel room here in Adairsville for like 37 bucks. All the receipts will be up on the transparency in a transparent way on our website here. Go to donate and you go to accounting, it'll all come up over there. Anyways, let me just go through what happened yesterday here. You know, the prevalent idea that kept on coming up was community, you know, and community seems so important to what we do, you know, and it's like that word has been used and abused, and it's almost, you know, it's drug in the ground almost now, you know. It's like we talk about community, yet there isn't much around, you know, even in the South, you know. We were talking to the guy at Pranksters, you know, he was asking if we got into any trouble coming in through the South, and he was like, you know, the South has changed. I didn't really understand what he meant, but, you know, I kind of get what he's saying, because it's kind of like with us, too, you know, we're revolutionaries, but we're also evolutionaries, you know. We're also, you know, evolving here from what we started and where we're going here, you know. And it's like we have to continue to maintain that open-mindedness and that willingness, you know, and be honest about it all as well, you know. And I look at it like he said something, you know, the South has changed, you know. They're more informed, they have the internet, they have, you know, their voices being heard. And if anything, dude, what we've noticed is that people around here are a lot more active. You know, they're actually stronger in their commitments, you know. They say they're going to do something. They don't do it for their ego. They do it because they have to, because they actually believe in this community thing, you know. And, you know, I was just thinking about the ecology of all this, you know, like the ecology as in, like, when we march out, there's, when we're raised in America, you know, there's a certain ecology, you know, and, you know, it's like, we foster, we nurture this type of way. And I look at it like, you know, what we're instilling right now with our march, I believe personally, is the idea of assertiveness, you know, taking action and saying not no to authority as much as that's unacceptable to authority, you know, especially authority figures. Instead of being passive, let's start, you know, asking for what we really need, because it's not a matter of if it's selfish or not anymore. It's a matter about, you know, this is what we need to survive, you know. We have so many complaints, like the complaints aren't stemming just from one class, it's from everybody, you know. And you know, I think one of the coolest parts about all this too is the fact that we're willing to go above and beyond what's expected of us. You know, Andrew was in some pain yesterday, and he was limping. He was really he had the gangster lean going, you know. It's just, but he kept on going, you know. We did 16 and a half yesterday, you know, and it was just to see that, to see people have so much pain and still walk through it. To me, it means that he's marching for something bigger than the pain. He's got to be. There's got to be a higher purpose than that pain that he's feeling, and it was excruciating just to look at his face, you know. Yet he kept on going, you know, and it's just, you know. It just falls back on assertiveness, you know. We got to continue to be assertive, you know. And one of the cooler parts about it all was we had people that would come up to us, you know. There was a truck driver who stopped, you know, pulled around, and he asked if he could take a picture, you know. He didn't even know who we were. He just knew that he wanted to take a picture, and I guess he believed that, you know, people were out here doing something and that he wanted to be a part of it, you know. So he pulled over, we took a picture for him, and you know, those are the small things. You can see it in their eyes that it's different. It's different from the other two marches here. It really is. I get a different feeling here. I don't know what it is. We're still, you know, only 60 miles, 70 miles outside of Atlanta, yet the reverberations of what Occupy Atlanta has done, what the Occupy movement has done, is felt in Adairsville, in Cartersville, in Marietta, you know. And I haven't had a cigarette in about 3 years, and one of the coolest things that I saw was our group is sharing smokes, you know. It's like, it's in a giving way. It wasn't because they wanted something out of it. It wasn't because they wanted to win favor with people. They weren't giving out cigarettes to win favor, to make friends. They were making it because they understood the fact that we're all marching here together and in solidarity, that we have to kind of like help each other through this, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest strengths that with this group here is the fact that we are willing to help each other at any cost, you know. If that means at the end of the day, you know, Darren has less cigarettes, you know, it just means that, you know, he shared what he could, you know, and that's kind of like the basis of community, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what it's all about? And one of the cooler aspects of this was that in late afternoon yesterday, we were walking by a construction site. And there was about 6 or 7 Georgia DOT workers, Department of Transportation workers, all in their orange jumpsuits, and they're working on the road. And as we're walking by, you know, we kind of like nodded, put our peace signs up, and you know, the one guy in the group, you know, was like, "Occupy America," right? And all his coworkers were like looking at him like, "What are you talking about? You know, why are you screaming at these guys?" And then we were like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" Right? And so all his friends were like, "Wow, you're kind of like hip to this, aren't you? How'd you know about this?" You know, so it was like we made him feel cool with his peoples, and it made us feel cool, you know, walking through there, you know. And it was a give and take, and I just thought it was a moment for us all to just understand that we can't judge each other for what we look like or how we act, as much as it is we have to like embrace it, you know, and you know, understand that, you know, that diversity is our strength. Do we have to live with each other? No, I don't recommend that we live with each other at all. But as long as we have that same spirit in mind, you know, like we all have that 99% spirit, you know, that Occupy movement spirit, you know what I mean? That we're taking back what was given to us, you know, what we demand, you know. And I'm just gonna end with this, you know. It seems like every time we walk anywhere, whenever anyone sees activists, anyone sees anyone with the American flag, or anyone sees a protester or such, they equate it to the Occupy movement. And I think that's beautiful. I think this is our time right now to make that change. And you know, thanks for listening.